Thanks for the pledge.
She doesn't want to give Vicky. Hold up, sec. We're not on.
Oh. We're still zooming and Amy's on here.
Oh, I think we are on. Okay, we're on now.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Your hand actions were proper on that. They were still given. So you're behind.
Yeah, I think there's a delay.
So as you were talking, it was going like that.
No.
Good morning, Miss Allison.
Good morning.
So what's Miss Allison? We got an update.
Yeah, this shouldn't be, this is nothing out of the ordinary. It's all stuff you guys are already aware of, but just so you know where everything stands, you have a copy of it.
Oh, yes. Then I'll take one. No, that's good.
All right. So we don't have any new requests at this time, but I still wanted to go through everything just so you knew where everything stands.
Oh, that's good.
So anything above that dark center line is stuff that's been completed. So the trucks, getting the bulbs for EMA, hiring Bricker and Eckler, all that kind of stuff. So the first piece is that nonprofit funding. That application is still not due until the 19th, so we still have more. I know of at least 3 more that are going to come in, but we already have 5. So there's definitely interest, and this is going to be a competitive grant, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. A lot of people that I talked to are really excited about this opportunity. So just wanted to let you know that that's going really well.
So the competitive grant, so other people are watching, what's the competitive grant mean?
Means that we have $1 million total, and we're probably going to get more than that requested.
There's competition.
So yes. So there's potential that people may not receive the full award, or people may not be awarded at all. Which is obviously hard because you want everybody to have funding, but that's the point.
So when the nonprofit says that we'd like $100,000 to do something, and we have to report that when we take care of it, do they have to report back to us exactly what they spent the money on?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of subrecipient monitoring, which is, it's good. It's the whole point. And we do the same thing. When we do grants, they monitor me just as closely as I'll be monitoring that.
And that's how the CARES funds work.
Yes, exactly. So if you guys do hear of anyone that's looking for this, just send them my way, because I want to make sure that everybody is filling out that application.
Oh, believe me.
Because if they don't fill out the application, we can't consider them.
In the last week or so, I've had a ton of nonprofits say that they're going to be getting in contact with you, or they're going to be applying. So
okay, perfect.
There's a lot.
Yeah, and for the people watching too, the link is still on our webpage. In the bottom right corner, it says Portage County Nonprofit Funding. And you can click that. And the link to our application is right there.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did you?
Please, no question.
What criteria will you be, grading each, as long as we do every single request the same? So do you have, I would say, create a form with a list of questions so that you can ask these, because how are you going to decide, well, especially being in a competitive situation, how are you going to decide who you take and who you don't?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So in order to bring the commissioners a recommendation, I would say make a cover sheet for each application with the same questions or criteria.
Yeah,
almost
they'll
like
score
we're scoring
it.
that.
That's right.
They'll score them.
Yeah.
And present
So
them
we
to
have
us
that
with
ready
the
for you guys.
recommendations, and then
Maybe get with Bricker and Eckler and see if anyone else is doing it.
Yeah, I'm going to have them take a quick peek at the applications too, because there's no point in bringing the application forward if it's not even an eligible use.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we're using our time efficiently. So
Good.
Perfect. All right. And then the next piece, we have that 10 million to offset payroll.
Okay.
And then the payroll software, we're still waiting on the final quote for that so we can move forward with that.
Is that the software where they can do payroll electronically versus someone sitting and spending hours each week?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what that is. And then the next 5 are all those water resource projects. We just got the line item budgets from them, so we'll be able to move forward with those projects very soon. And then the last 2, Hannum Crossing and Rivermore Crossing. Water Resources said that there are 2 other or 1 other sewer project that those dollars may be better spent towards. And obviously with this money, they want to make sure they're spending it as wisely as possible. So they will be making a couple changes to that Hannum crossing and Rivermore crossing, but they haven't made that full update yet. But as soon as I have that, I'll bring that to you guys.
So there's nothing on here for like the Chen allotment project?
No.
Okay. I know they applied for a lot of grants for Chen and they've received some, but just wondering.
Yeah, they
Okay.
got funding from the EPA for that. And then the next piece is the Emergency Operations Center. So we passed that resolution last week, and we are working on finalizing that line item budget with EMA. That way we can get the ball rolling on that. Broadband, we have 458 surveys returned, which is great news. That's all information that we're gonna be able to take back to Spectrum and have them take a peek at that so we can make sure we're covering everybody as best we can. And then
458 out of how many did we send out? Or we did?
it's accessible to everyone who lives in the
Everybody?
county.
Okay.
Yeah. And we will be able to move forward with that. Spectrum has been notified, or Charter has been notified that they will be the vendor that we're working with. The Marks Towers, we are waiting for the Treasury and the state auditor to take a peek at that. There's a couple things with those Marks Towers where once we have them put up, they would need to be transferred over to the state so the state can handle the maintenance. But we want to make sure that if we're spending ARPA money on this, that we're allowed to do that.
Oh,
But the Treasury and the state auditor can help us make sure that that's all
Okay.
good. So we're waiting on that information from them before we can move forward with that. And consulates for dispatch, we're waiting on the final quote and then we'll be able to get that for them, that radio equipment. Cybersecurity upgrades, I'm waiting on the final quotes from Lloyd, and then we'll be able to move forward with that as well. And then juvenile court. So here's the update with that. We need the engineer or the architect to sign off on every piece of the design that works with CDC requirements and would then qualify for ARPA. So when they're expanding a room, we need to make sure that they're expanding it to accommodate COVID guidelines from the CDC, but they're going to be able to figure that out. And then they can give us their seal of approval on the design so we can move forward with that. So I'm not 100% sure that that's going to be the full 809,000. I'm hoping, but I'm not 100% sure on that just yet. We have to wait for that seal to come in. And then the electronic signature software, the DocuSign. Once we have confirmation on price, we can get the memo and move forward with that. So that brings us to $30,385,950, which is crazy, right?
and only 1.1 left.
Yes.
I thought before we were at a little over 2 left.
Yes,
Now we're down to 1.1.
Every time you see the number, it goes a little bit lower.
A margin of error
Yes.
for construction projects.
Yes. So with that in mind, it is my recommendation that we pause spending for right now. We pause any more internal requests that are coming. I mean, when you see this list, these are all really big projects and 90% of them haven't broke ground yet.
And you know what? Are these project costs, are they taken into consideration contingency funds? Because a lot of times if you have a major project like that, they want like 10% of the project held aside for a contingency for overflows and stuff.
I know for a fact the EOC has that in their quote. I'm not 100% sure about the water projects, but I know for a fact that's in the EOC.
Okay.
One of the questions with the emergency management, the OC that you had, and I was looking at just this morning, the 5622.
Okay.
Only the design would, where is it? Only pieces of the design applied to HV. And then is that different than it is now?
Yeah, so after a really good conversation with Bricker, we were able to find out that we will be able to fund the entirety of the EOC with ARPA money, which is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have to wait years for a project like this. Now we
Yes,
won't have to, and they'll
absolutely.
get that because they need it desperately. So
Good.
that's really, I mean, that's probably the most exciting.
Sounds like you're really dotting your i's and crossing t's.
Oh, my
to prevent-
goodness, yes.
Yeah, to prevent just overwork that not needed.
Yes,
You know, so it's
exactly.
good.
And preparing for the
You're
audit.
being
because the audit is
proactive,
coming.
yes.
Yes,
We appreciate that.
exactly.
And I want to just publicly give a shout out to Allison because I tell her she's going to block my phone some days, but when I'm out and about, I refer people to her all the time, whether they're referring to her to apply for our funds or referring to her just to ask questions because maybe they have their own ARPA funds and they just need some questions answered and guidance. And I hear nothing but stellar feedback, and everyone's always saying Allison's very helpful. She's very patient. She's very kind with them. So I just want to note that about Allison, that she's doing it. Not only is she doing a great job for us, but even for the outside public she's been so kind to assist with. So and answer questions.
That's the goal, right? Helping everybody.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. That's actually all that I have for right now. Do you guys have any other
That's all.
questions? Yeah, that's all for today.
I know. It's sort of like Joanne's update every week. I take a picture of it on my phone because I was out yesterday and someone asked me, I'm like, hold on, let me look this up. Where are we at? And they're like, wow, you have a really big project list. It's sort of like this.
Yeah,
So when people are thinking we had 31 million and we don't know what to do with it, or 30
we'll
million.
have a place to spend every last dollar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Use more.
yeah. Piggy banks broke. For the nonprofits,
Yes,
that $1 million we set aside, that does not include that 1.1.
correct. That
Okay.
$1 million is lumped into the 30 that is already out.
Gotcha.
Just, I wanted to make sure that that's already
I just want to clarify.
there. So you are all good if we pause spending for now, pause any
Oh,
more
yes,
requests.
absolutely.
And we can reevaluate in a couple months to see. I mean, we have until the end of 2024. So.
Only because, like I said, with the cost of construction's up, and
Oh my
depending on
goodness,
if we
yeah.
have a contingency set aside, it could easily,
Yeah, and it's going to take a little bit of time, I know, for these water resource projects too, just supply chain.
yeah.
It's hard for everybody. So
Well, that's why they give us to 2026.
exactly.
I think they're gonna have to extend that.
You're probably
Yeah,
right.
that's
They have
There ain't
to.
no way that the supply chain is broke as it is. It's across the country, not just Portage.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to modify that,
Yeah, it's
I
hard.
would think.
All right.
Yeah. Wow,
Thank
Allison,
you,
nice
Allison.
job.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. If you
And
have
I hear the
questions-
same thing that Commissioner Bennett hears as well. Everybody's really appreciates what you're doing.
Good, I'm glad to help.
I'm very thankful
Yeah.
that we have you. So.
Awesome.
All right, well, that was definitely shorter than I thought it was going to be.
Heck of a learning lesson curve, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all right though.
yeah, that's very cool.
The burger's been so helpful.
Yeah.
It's been so wonderful.
I know, that was the best thing we did
Yeah,
was,
and
dot
that's.
our I's and
keeps you
cross
on
our
the
T's.
weeds. Yeah, it does.
Yes, and that audit is going to be so much more smooth because of them.
And I like whenever you bring the stuff for us to prove, you attach their recommendations or their opinion.
Yeah.
That's good.
That way you guys can see.
In case, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Perfect.
Thank you, Allison.
Thanks, Allison.
Anything else? Or was it just me?
Okay, do we have anything else today?
Good.
We don't have public comments.
No public comment. Good.
But I will tell you, I got contacted by Mr. Dacus. They are bringing the mobile wall, Veterans Wall.
Oh,
It's
when?
it's coming to Aurora in
Mhm.
June 2023. And so he's going to be contacting Amy probably in the next couple of months just to come in and give us an update on what's going on with it, because they'll be looking for volunteers to work. It's going to be there for like 5 days. So I told him to contact Amy
Yeah,
and come in and
we had that about a bunch of years ago.
Yeah.
Sunny Lake, they had it at one time.
well, we had it, Brumfield brought it to the American Legion over there on
Yep.
Wonderful Road one year when it first came out, but it has like 500 some thousand names on it. It's from the Veterans War. And so but he'll be contacting you.
Okay.
His last name's Dacus. And he'll be contacting Amy just to get on our agenda to come in and tell the commissioners about it and express what they'll need. Because I said, well, that would be good to come in. We stream, so a lot of people here, like they need volunteers to help work the event or whatever. So just so you know.
Anything else, Miss Michelle?
I'm good.
Do you have anything, Jill?
What? What?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call. Sabrina? Yes.
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
All right. But it counts as a meeting.